If you need to answer a bunch of questions often enough, it's best to make a frequently asked questions file and put them up. Now, I've done this on other channels before, and sometimes people come to the channel to taunt me and say, well, why do you do that? And then ask the same questions over and over again. And I just don't respond to them until they go away. But some people legitimately ask me a question, so I do a video once in a while. A previous channel, I don't know how many channel deletions ago it was, I had a video that explained all of this, and I don't know if anybody saw it. But this way I can just grab a link to it, feed it to them, and they'll either watch the video or not. Why don't you answer me? Then if I answer them, why don't you make a video? So if I answer them and give them the video, what are they going to do? So here we go. Why do you film only in background that's black? Why is it potato mode? And what happened to your glasses? I'll do that one next. Originally, my channel had an icon for me, still does, I think, mostly, where it showed me wearing a special set of glasses. These. The lenses and frames, well, the lenses are out of them. They're over here in another set. But this is a set of frames that I built, and it's actually overbuilt now because it broke, that contained the frames. These are gold-plated or actual gold, antique 1800s trial lenses out of one of those big blocky things you put in front of your face to get your eyes checked. They make them, and they're called trial lenses. And I buy them because they're $5 each. These days it's 12, but at the time it was 5 each. And it was cheaper than buying a set of glasses. And all I had to do was find my prescription from the eye doctor or the ophthalmologist or eye clinic and order new lenses, and I didn't have to deal with them, which means, of course, they tried really hard not to let me have my prescription. And I found out after wearing glasses for many decades, having hypersensitive focal length, that all I had to do was pick lenses that worked well at night to be able to see stars with the least amount of diversion or blurring. And then during the day, another set of lenses that didn't overcorrect. Because if you can see a star when you're nearsighted, it's overcorrecting for daytime. And I would use the weakest lens during the day possible, simply because it caused eye strain because it was overfocused and I couldn't read anything. Now, this had the unintended effect of making my eyes get better. You will see people on the internet saying that you can cure myopia, that lenses are all part of some conspiracy, and then they go into wackadoodle shit. They're lying. They're not just wrong, they're lying. You can make it to where your eyes slowly, we're talking decades, get less nearsighted. I'm looking at you with my left eye. This is a mirrored image of the video. My left eye is much more nearsighted, and it's the dominant eye because I'm right-handed. That's actually how the human body and brain works. Just live with it. When I use my right eye, its fixed focus max range is 6 feet almost to the ground. It's actually 3.8 or 4.5 depending on lighting conditions. My left eye's focal length is bordering on being 14 inches. It was 8. And my right eye used to be about a foot. It's now over 4 feet away. That means my eyes have improved because I was nearsighted. Some of you do not understand nearsighted. It should be just far blind or short-sighted. Now, the other glasses I have are these. These are the wire rim ones, and they're mostly black, and I can't see anything because I'm way too close to the screen, so I'll do this. But as you can see from the pixels, they're very, very minimal, and they do not have the biconcave lenses that would take the light from the screen and focus it into a bright dot that's like a blaring laser eye socket thing. I did that as an homage to Patrick Stewart's playing the Borg Master, or Locutus of Borg, with a laser eye, because I thought it was funny. Also that month, when I did that first icon for my channel, laser cats was trending, and every picture of a cat had them overdriving the lights, demon eyes in the distance. And I can make one lens or the other show this reflected light, and I did this. I put a flashlight on top of the computer up here and clicked a button. And at one point I did it with a camera. I don't remember which one I used. I think it might have been the camera one, a real camera. And that's the one I did my icon from. And that's where that came from. So if anybody's curious, that's where the glasses are from. It's a set of frames I built that are based on this type of frame being used to hold the lenses with the framework around it, that beautiful gold thing. And this is one where I take the lens out and put it in here. And I prefer the ones that are biconcave because they're symmetrical. They don't break. They're made on the same principle as prescription safety glasses for welding and mostly oxyacetylene welding or gas welding or blowtorch. I like those types of lenses because they're very durable, and you could get them prescription because they were just the test lenses they would use at the eye doctor. They didn't charge a premium because they were for people who needed to do welding during World War II, and that became a precedent for them to always sell them cheap. There's a bunch of rules from World War II that affect eyeglasses. And again, me getting the prescription from my eye doctor was a screaming pain in the butt because they didn't want me buying lenses somewhere else. And when I pointed out it's against the damn law for you to do this, give me my damn data, I'm not signing a waiver, hand it to me, here's the law, made them mad. Then I hung up the same law at every lens lab and every other place saying, you have a right to demand your prescription, make them give it to you. I'm partially responsible in Portland for it becoming basically a company practice at every business to stop arguing because people got wind of this. You're welcome. Yes, it was me putting those posters up. I won't describe the poster because I might actually get in trouble for it. But anyway, let's do on the next one. Why do I do a black background? Bandwidth. Good night, everybody. Okay, let's do a demonstration. Now, I might do a demonstration to actually test if it's still like this because I'm technically using different software and hardware. But what I do on a computer is to reduce the amount of aggravation I have to deal with. I don't care how many steps sometimes. It depends on what I'm doing. But it's to reduce aggravation. If it's more aggravating to me to do one step that keeps crashing the computer, I'm not going to do it. I'll do 3 steps if I have to. Make a video, and then fix the audio sync that always broke at the time because it always made my voice not match my mouth. Okay, I'll do that because I can just get it done. The part that crashes isn't the encoding and shifting, at least it wasn't. It's the damn video recording. I'll get to why in a minute. Or I might re-encode it for YouTube because they got really pissy about the format. Now, to do this video, I'm using Open Broadcast Software version 0658B. Not because I want to. The newer version's better, or the older version might be faster. This is the one that doesn't crash. I don't give a shit about quality. I give a shit about it not breaking. And I don't know if you know this, if a piece of computer software can break while making a file on your computer, it can overwrite a file you need, like the operating system. And yes, in this day and age, advanced computers, this is a 3 gigahertz or 2.8 gigahertz, it doesn't matter. It's over 2.5 gigahertz. It's still slow as fuck. Why? Because people write crappy code. If I load up on this computer, if I can get it to load it, Windows 3.11 and DOS 62 with the multimedia functions and use a video capture program, it won't crash as often. I did that at one time. Why? Because it didn't crash. I don't give a shit what software I'm using. Macintosh OS 8 ran off a single floppy. You could make special purpose kits with one floppy being the boot up and tell it RAM, just put it in RAM and run the program. It had a RAM setting. That meant you could make it to where you didn't have a hard drive. The computer would still work. Same thing with DOS and Windows, old Windows. They didn't require a hard drive. They said they did, but they didn't. Well, but yeah. I'm using a modern computer. I mean, it's modern. The computer speed hasn't changed that much since then. It's got, 2 cores instead of 4. Okay. But really, does it require something more powerful than a Pentium 2 processor to make it to where it records video without finding an excuse to crash? Yes. Because people write shit software. If I could find something more stable, I'd run it. Okay, why the black background? Okay, we're going to do the test, the experiment. I'm going to go over here. I try to do this with... Say thank you for me doing the demo. The truth has been revealed. Okay, this is the polar opposite. I haven't put on a white t-shirt because that's not the relevant thing. I haven't changed the settings on the video capture routine. And... of course it moved. Crap. So anyway... Yes, this is a halo light effect done with a desk lamp. It's an expensive desk lamp with a modern LED light that is going to do pulsing or not. And on this thing, I have it set to 50 cycle a second compensation because the one it's supposed to work doesn't. This is as good as it gets with the bright light. Meanwhile, the backlight on the video screen that I use to light up my face normally doesn't cause this problem because it's lower intensity and it tends to do a better job smoothing it out, because it does a longer exposure. But now that it's bright, it compensates by doing fast exposure, and you can see the pulsing. If I changed it to 60 cycle instead of 50, it'd be much worse because for some reason it compensates by making it worse. Yes, in this day and age with this software, I don't care where it came out, why the fuck would it do the exact opposite of what the button says? I'm going to have a whole video on why I am angry with every piece of software. But waptek, if I got a cell phone with geolocation permanently enabled, it's always connected to the network, it will never stop hiding shit. It's run by a large corporation like Apple, Google, or name that other corporation that is literally data mining us 24/7. Or I could just use an old computer that is too stupid to connect to anything anymore because even the back doors it have, the websites are gone because the companies went out of business. What do you think I'm going to do? You sound paranoid. I'm professionally paranoid. A professional paranoid looks at what's actually going on and destroys as much of it as possible. Is my computer less stable for turning off all the crap that tunneled in by removing it? No, it's more stable. Is it less capable? No, that's literally just the website's bitching that I'm using a browser I still have controlled. Yes, I can load the latest browser on the planet. It works. The user interface is shit, but I run it. But I turn off every bit of semaphoring and data collection ability. And the websites say you're using an older browser. And then they identify it as the browser they tell me to update to because they're lying. This isn't so much why does waptek film in the dark and why does he look like a spook? It's why do I do things so I don't have the computer fuck me over or the internet or Google or Apple or can I make a longer list? I think I can. But what? It's not a philosophy. It's not a political stance. It's I don't have time for this shit. To set this room up to do this so that I could do this example where I have the lowest bandwidth and the least amount of distractions required that I take down all of the artwork off the walls, hang up pieces of tissue paper on things so that there wouldn't be one stinking pixel moving around back there. If I use normal lighting, there's enough detail back there that the encryptor, encoder, transcoder, whatever. Yes, there's one that's there. I have that. Those are actually what the components are called for this routine. It will obsessively try to make that one pixel in the background you can't even see show up. Meanwhile, if I overload it, it gets rid of most of it until I hit that. Then suddenly it's got to massively jack up the bandwidth, and it makes the file size suddenly balloon up. I have this set for settings to make it not do it, and it still does it. I also told it not to auto-compensate, so it would do what you're seeing now. It still does it. The software I'm using, open broadcast software, cannot override the camera properly. And the software that came with the camera wouldn't let me do it either, so I'm stuck with it. Okay, well, waptek, again, what about getting a professional camera? What about, fuck all y'all, I'm not going to buy an expensive camera. What about buying a cheap shit camera? I did. It worked. Until it died. The camera I'm using is over 10 years old. It's a 2012 camera. The only time it screws up, if I get angry and smack it like that and disconnect it, and I have to take the screen apart and reconnect it so I don't smack my camera anymore. Smack my bitch up. I don't do that much. Or drop it. But I have had no problems from this piece of crap. And yeah, it bitches about a battery that isn't authenticating. At least I'm lucky it's not an Apple product where it'd get mad at me for changing a busted mic. Right to repair, go look it up. Why does waptek do what he does? Because it makes it less shit. I have to do 10 takes. This is the third take of this particular video. I don't want to have to do extra takes because the computer decided to update or improve things or show me an ad or ask me if I want to do a survey or any of the other maddening things I haven't had to deal with, not because I have a problem of some kind, but because I make the problems go away. Make failure impossible whenever possible, or as unlikely as possible. This makes it to where I can get away with doing multiple takes and give you the good one instead of sitting here editing together shitty ones. I hate editing. I'd rather do the multiple takes and get better at doing a video than sucking at it and compensating by editing. I'd rather do a better product. So we turn around and go back to the normal method. And now I'm back in my element. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good